what's your initial reaction to a game that got away from you like this one did today?
Yeah. First, you start with that team came out and played a hell of a game on the other side of the ball. We had momentum swings where we were taking punches and, we ended up turning the ball over, having false starts and things like that. And, with a team like that, and you have 2 turnovers and a couple false starts or just overall penalties on the opposite side of the ball. With a team like that on the other side, they make you pay, and they did that today.
It's 2 really up and down games offensively to start the season. And did you expect it to be going better and clicking a little better at this point? And why hasn't it been?
I always expect to come out and play well as an offense. That's the expectation, but it's not really necessarily surprising or anything like that. It's new coach, new offense, and all of that, and a bunch of new players, and we're all trying to figure it out together at one. And like I've always said, move together. Everybody do their 1/11th and move together when the ball snap and go execute the plays that are called.
What happened on the interception?
Yeah, ended up rolling out. Probably need to throw it away right there. Tried to make a play, but I thought OZ was going to go high, and he ended up breaking flat, and it was just a miscommunication on the field.
What happened on the sequence with the 2 quarterback sneaks, the 3rd and 1, the 4th and 1?
Yeah, just got to go get it. I thought I got it on the first one, and I guess I got closer. And then, the second one, I would say I got it, and, the refs end up spotting it back, and, you move on from that play, but just got to go get it.
Ben had a long conversation after the 4th down one. What was the breakdown there? What were you guys?
It was just us communicating about what's next, and then also just him saying, maybe go right next time or instead of left, or whatever the case may have been. Because we got a bunch of yards on the first, or closer. We got more yards on the first one than we did in the second one. So, being able to just communicate with him, move on, and get out there and go and try and execute plays again.
What's the key for you in those situations of reading it right and then getting it?
Yeah, find an open gap and go get it.
You talked about having understood that it's a new coach, it's a new offense, it takes time to adjust. And it seems in periods you all didn't struggle to move down the field. So what do you think is personally missing from making that more consistent?
Yeah, I think it's just us being, like you said, consistent in the way of, our technique, our, the plays that are called, and going out there and being technical about and beating the man in front of you. And that includes myself. That's, and I think we just do that over and over and over again. Don't try and create any explosive plays that, try and be Superman. They'll come and everybody just do their 1/11th, and we keep moving on.
You had some time to kind of reflect on this on the sideline when Tyson came in. What's going through your mind as you're sitting through the last 7 minutes of this game?
Yeah, I think in that situation it sucks that your guys are out in the field and you're not, and that's frustrating because you put so much time, energy, and effort, and those guys are out there still battling, and you're on the sideline, but it was coach's decision, and you got to move on from it. And I think in that situation, I'm thinking of how can I help this team, this offense, whether it's me saying something on the field or to whoever, or completing one more pass or whatever the case may be, just to get the momentum going, get us going, and get this team rolling, get these guys rolling, and try and go win games.
How do you come to terms with going to start to this season?
Yeah, we got. How do I come to terms with it? We got 15 more games. It's the first 2 games, and there's been on multiple occasions teams that rally back and go on a run, and that's what we're focused on. To do that, you got to focus on the next one. This game's over. They scored a bunch of points. We didn't score enough. And that's typically how football works. You don't score enough points when you go out there. That you tend to lose the game. And so, being able to move on to the next game, next play, whatever the case may be, is where we're focused. And we all believe in each other. Coach says something extremely powerful to us after the game is how much he believes in each and every one of us, coaches included. And we believe in them. Everything that they put up, Everything that they call, everything that that we discuss, anything like that, we believe in them, and I think we just got to keep believing, keep pushing, and not let anything divide us or anything like that. We got to keep going. It's only 2 games, and we got to keep moving along.
Why would you describe what Ben said to you guys as extremely powerful? From
Yeah.
defense?
Your coach, you go 0-2. Obviously, we're out there playing. We're out there, getting after it, and we just lost the game. And the coaches are a part of that also. Yes, they feel it. But, we're out there getting after it, and we go and get our tail kicked. And so for a coach to say that after the game, that he still believes in us, and when it comes time that it's a big 3rd down on defense or it's a big 4th down on offense, that coach is going to go for it, and obviously in the right situation. But the belief is there, the trust is there, and we got to keep chugging along and find ways to go win the next game.
What do you see in your own performance your individual performance over the first 2 games that you say, I have got to get this on track right now?
First game, I missed a couple passes. I think this game, hit some key passes and didn't feel like, anything was off. My footwork was solid and was hitting my guys. So I think I got to go look at the tape and figure out, this game, how it can help us, physically and mentally, maybe on the sideline or something, or talking to the guys, whatever case may be. But haven't figured that out yet for this game, and I got to go figure it out and watch film on the plane.
What's the dynamic been between you and Ben the last 2 weeks, where there's some tough film to watch? He's also been very supportive of you publicly. What's the balance there in terms of accountability and support?
Tough film to watch. Yeah, there's always accountability with us and Ben. It's always pointing a finger at yourself before you go point at anybody else. But I'm not necessarily going to say tough film or anything like that. Like, it's football. You're going to make mistakes. You got to go out there and not be fearful of making a mistake, and that's how I play football. If something happens, all right, cool, move on to the next play, and let's go back out there, and that's the mindset for myself, and something I try and portray to everybody else. I threw a pick today, came back out there and tried to go down and score again. I think that's something that we're going to keep striving for. I think that's something that we're going to keep working on as a group and as a collective. But you always point the finger at yourself before you point the finger at anybody else, and I think that's the mindset for us and the team.
As a team, how do you keep the belief and the trust from eroding after a lopsided loss?
Yeah, we manage the expectations. We focus on ourselves. We're truthful. We're truth tellers. And then from there, you go out there and you work hard in the practice field and in film and things like that, and you come out the next week and we fight. Simple.
What's your initial reaction to the game that Rome had today? You guys obviously connected a handful of times.
Yeah, I think that's just us being together for – what is it, a year and a half now, or year and some change, and so being able to just keep finding that rhythm with him, being able to get in rhythm with the other wide receivers, and get in rhythm with tight ends and everything, just get everybody going. It's important to have everybody going and everybody to understand their role in this offense, that everybody is important. And I think today when you have a guy come out and he's making great catches for you and getting off man coverage and press and all these different things. You want to keep feeding them the ball, and I think that's just what happened today. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Thanks, guys. The Bears.
And that was Jalen Johnson and T.J. Edwards. We'll see the extent of their injuries, but, unknown right now. It seemed like a re-aggravation of what they had before going into the game. So we'll see that. Listen, anytime you lose a game like that, man, it's a kick in the teeth. Nothing about that feels good. Unfortunately, I've been through a number of these over the course of my career. These guys, I tell you, they're hurt, it stinks. They fought the entire game, and, when you play a good team on the road and you have turnovers and you don't convert on 4th down and you give up explosive plays on defense, it can go sideways in a hurry, and that was really the name of the game. Offensively, we were able to move the ball a little bit in the first half, and then the turnovers and the lack of 4th down conversion bit us in the rear. And then, defense had more explosive plays than we wanted to going into the game. We knew that they were an explosive offense, and we had a plan, and we didn't contain those playmakers very well. The quarterback for them really got after us and made us hurt. You know, I look at his numbers, and it looks like he had an outstanding day. Certainly felt that way on the sideline throughout. So, and then in the second half, you get behind by that much, and it becomes a throw-in game like that, and really just plays into their hands. So, penalties were still an issue for us. You know, false starts, we had a couple of those. We had some holdings. Really hurt us. So, with that, I'll go ahead and open it up.
What do you think of kid going to the ball away and also when it comes out at the end, was that just the score's high and he wasn't hurt?
The one that he got the.
Yeah, well, let's start with it. When he gets the ball away. And then at the end, when he passes, is that just the game's out of hand?
Yeah. At that point in the game, we figured that we really didn't have a chance to come back in that.
What went wrong in the operation of QVC?
I got to go back and I got to look at it from behind. It's hard for me to tell with just the still pictures, but you know, just like I told our guys, I got a lot of confidence in them when it becomes a 3rd and 1 that we can get a first down in 2 plays.
It looked like on that 4th down that he got the play with like 12 seconds left or something. and jumped in.
Well, it can't happen because with you know, the thing cuts off at 15. So which one of you?
The 4th and inches.
Okay. Yeah.
He got back there.
Yeah. He might have. I got to talk to him about it.
Ben, what were you told at the end of the first half when you waved your team off the field and they had to come back and there were 6 seconds left?
Yeah, I had the official right next to me throughout that process. He told me it was halftime, so we went in for halftime.
And then what happened? What did they explain after?
Land came over to me at the end of the 3rd quarter, and he told me, I believe, that they ruled it out of bounds. They reviewed it and said it was in bounds, and so it was a 10-second runoff. So we'll see what it looks like on the game tape. That certainly was not communicated to us.
And what about the defensive plan that you had coming into the day didn't quite pan out for you today?
Yeah, you know, we knew that we need to set the edge there to try to contain their running game. I think they were able to bounce and get the edge a few times there, and so that hurt us in the running game. And then in the passing game, we simply didn't affect the quarterback. You know, we tried to mix up the coverages, and they hurt us a little bit in some of our single high stuff with their speed. So the explosive plays are an issue. You know, you feel those. I did think the defense did a great job despite the turnovers and the 4th down. They hit the field. They were being resilient. They were fighting their tails off. It just didn't go our way today.
Ben, how do you get a team to respond to a kick in the teeth like today was?
To kick in the teeth?
Yeah. Just this
No,
whole
we
day.
have a lot of prideful guys. We're 2 games into the season, and so I think they're just as disappointed as the coaching staff is, and we're committed to getting this thing right. I have a lot of belief in them. We have leaders, we have captains. I mean, when you're around this league long enough, these games happen, and it doesn't feel any better when it happens. But the good teams I've been on, they find a way to respond, and I know our guys will do that.
Do you believe Dan Campbell ran it up on you on that 4th and 4 goal?
What's he supposed to do? It's 4th and goal. What do you want him to do? Yeah, he could have kicked the field goal. They don't kick field goals. They go for it there. So he was doing what he was supposed to do. That's what he does.
How demoralizing is this loss, considering you were coming back, you left for Chicago? I mean,
It's not demoralizing at all. It's not demoralizing at all. We got to play better. Simple as that.
And somebody squandered opportunities after the fumble, and defense stopped them on 3rd down and get the ball back. What's your message going to be about not wasting those opportunities and good field position?
Yeah, I mean, when we play good teams, you got to capitalize on every opportunity that comes your way. And we didn't do that. You're -1 in the turnover category. And you really can equate the failed 4th downs as turnovers as well. And so when you play a good team like that, you give up explosives, you give up all those yards. That's the way it goes.
You talked about being in this league for these type of games when they're blowouts. Having experienced this before, what do you think is the formula to bounce back from this going forward?
Yeah, the biggest thing is we're not going to hang our heads and get down on this. It's one game. We're going to be just fine. We'll take our corrections, coaching staff, players. We're going to learn from it, and we'll be committed to having a great week of preparation coming up this week and finding our first win of the season. That's all we care about. You'd have to ask him that. Truthfully, I didn't feel it as much as it probably could have. I was trying to get him the call as fast as I could. But I thought for the most part, other than those false starts, those guys handled the noise fairly well.
Is this the environment you expected coming back here? Is that
Yeah.
easy?
Yep, sure is. Yep.
And you said you wanted to call more runs. How do you feel with that game plan and how that panned out today?
I don't have the exact number. Like I said, when you start getting down like that, it's hard to stay committed to the run game.
What's next with the kicking situation? You brought in a guy to the practice squad, kind of was had some struggles the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, Jake's a talented player, and we'll see kind of where he's at. But we have a lot of confidence in Cairo.
Is it open competition at this point? Or
No, we have a lot of confidence in Cairo.
I'd like to just be here, back where you've been for so long.
Really didn't even think about that a whole lot. I didn't interact with those guys until walking off the field there at the end. A couple guys said hey to me, and that was really it. So we came in focused on winning this ball game, and we came up way short.
Comfortable at all to get to shake Dan's hand after calling it?
It's always good to see Dan Campbell, but not when you're on the losing side like that.
Quarterback sneaks, what's the key to just making sure that gets executed properly?
Say it again.
The quarterback sneaks.
The sneaks?
Yeah, well, what's the key to getting that executed?
I got to look at it now. I tell you what, I'll give that defense a lot of credit. Kelvin Shepard, I think he's a phenomenal football coach, and he's just going to continue to ascend in this league. Last week, Green Bay struggled a little bit in short yardage as well. I think DJ Reader does a phenomenal job knocking guys back in that situation. I'll have to see how much of a factor he particularly was on those two plays, but we've got a ways to go there to get those quarterback sneaks to be effective plays for us. And if that's not the way we go, then we'll find another way to get the first down.
What did Dan say to you at midfield?
That's for me and him.
Play calling by John Morton, the balance of run and pass.
Yeah, it seemed like they mixed it up really well. And when you have the quarterback coming like that, and you got the pass catchers and the runners going like that, then it's hard to slow them down. So think the world of Johnny, and 52 points is a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks.